Hi, everybody, and welcome back to YEA Entertain Us. Today, my host and I will be interviewing Stacey DuFord. She is well versed in radio, television, writing, and she even has a podcast that is amazing. She has lots to share with you all, lots of tips to share that will come in handy. So we are very excited to share this with you. Enjoy. Hi, Stacey. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. So we have myself, my name is Tony, and then Marcel and Kim here. We're super excited to talk with you today. We went over your resume, which is super extensive with radio, television, and writing, so it's super impressive. I know Kim has some questions she's dying to ask you, so I would love for her to start.
So yeah, Stacey, this is my attempt that people get to know you even more, even though you're very popular and out there already for a few years. And I've so enjoyed watching and hearing you on all your platforms. I've kind of been a fan of yours for a long time, and I love all that you do, and you do it all so well. Across the whole spectrum, we have you doing a lot of work for us under YEA for voiceover work, in which I'm thrilled to have you on these projects. And I was telling my team how important this type of work is and how well we do it in Michigan. And what it really takes, what kind of background it takes to be able to fulfill these type of work and this type of jobs. Your dialect that you use, your tone that you use, your expression, how you actually get the format out is so well done, and we get calls for you all the time. I was wondering if you could share with our audience today a little bit about what it takes to do that type of work.
Well, I think the voiceover stuff and a lot of what I've been doing for you, which I really enjoy, and I hadn't done a lot of it until I started working with you, but I really enjoy it, is the English as a Second Learner scripts. And so you're trying to read something that people are reading along to learn English. So you have to read slowly and clearly. And I've been trying to learn French, so I completely get it. Like, I understand, like, oh my gosh, how important it is, because if the French speakers go too fast or pronounce things with their, regional dialects, like, sometimes I just won't get it. So I was very excited to be able to have that background bringing it in. Somebody who's been trying to learn another language.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Yeah, and I really enjoy it because it seems like it's useful, which nothing wrong with the entertainment industry. I've enjoyed working in it for years. Don't always feel useful. So it's nice to do something that feels like, oh, this is actually helping people.
Yeah.
And I think the reason I'm able to do it is mostly because I've always been a big reader. I've been a huge reader since I was a kid. And one of the weird abilities I have is to be able to cold read things and sound like I've read it a couple times. And I thoroughly attribute that to the fact that I've been reading since I was 4 years old. And I always have a book in my face. And I always was looking up words. I'm a nerd. So I was looking up words I didn't understand, learning how to pronounce them. I was a spelling bee champ. I'm a huge nerd, but it really helped in my career because I love words. I love the language, and and my husband says my one true skill is that I enunciate clearly. So who knows? But
I love that, Stacey. And I tell my talent, even my actors, that if they want to really do a good study, go get a good book for a child, maybe 4 or 5, okay? And hold and captivate them. If you can captivate them being the characters within the book and get their attention and use your expression, you're going to have a better chance when you're reading and auditioning and going in for cold reads. Just like you said, It's
That's
so
great advice. In
important.
fact, I didn't even put these together until you just said that, but I was also a huge babysitter in the small town I grew up in. Like every kid in the neighborhood, I babysat at some point or another. And you have to hold their attention, especially when they're different ages. And I remember reading books to them and doing crazy character voices just to like keep them still or keep them occupied or That's
So
great
this
advice.
is why you're so good, Stacey. I just want you to know that you're really good at what you do, and we know
Thank
why.
you.
Yeah, and your tone. I mean, the tone of your voice and how you can pitch it different ways. And people don't understand that this is an art, this is a craft, and that you've been at it for a long time. Loved hearing you on radio, love seeing you on TV. I know you're on TV currently as well. We're so proud to be there, and I love seeing you there. So you can tell us maybe a little bit about that.
Well, it's funny. I am doing a job I did 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, I got a job as the fill-in weather reporter and traffic reporter on CBS TV. And I mostly filled in on weekends and loved it. I was trained by Jim Mattis, probably one of the best meteorologists in the Metro Detroit area.
Love him.
And took, again, because I'm a nerd, studied a few little nerdy things on my own about the weather, because that's what I do. So I was doing that job and enjoying it. And then I went back to radio, morning radio. So I was trying to work till 11:30 at night and then be to work at 4 a.m. and couldn't pull off everything. So I went back to morning radio full time. I quit doing TV. And then out of the blue, a year ago, the station called me and said, hey, we're looking for a fill-in. Would you be interested? And I'm like, okay, you realize I'm 10 years older and there's HD now. And they said, come on. So, and I love it. I love the people I work with. I love my boss. I love everything about it. It appeals to every side of me, my nerdy side, the TV side where I'm trying to, present and do it well. And I mean, when I go in, I do everything. I create the forecast. I make all the graphics. I present it myself. If it needs to be edited, I edit it. Yeah, like I do it all. And it's been a great learning opportunity. And again, I'm very supported there. It's just a great experience. I'm so fortunate.
See, that there's more to just being in front of the camera, which a lot of our audience does not realize, Stacey. But I know working with a lot of you journalists from ABC and CBS and all of them, I've worked with a lot of the different journalists. They are writing their own product. They are setting up their own frames. They are getting ready to do that presentation to the world. And again, you do it so well. You do it so well.
And that's happening more and more, unfortunately, television is going the way of a lot of businesses where they are forced to cut back and cut back and cut back. Yeah. And so many people are doing more than one job now. So if you're coming up in that business, it behooves you to try and get experience in every aspect of the job, even things you don't think you might be doing, because you probably will be doing it.
Yeah. I think that's so true. You got to be wearing many hats these days, and the more you can learn, the better off you are. Thank you for that tip, everybody. That was a tip right there.
I think Marcel, do you have a question for her, Marcel?
I do. I know you've been in the broadcast business for a while. You've worked in many different sets, from TV to radio, and you're also a very talented writer. Do you have a talent that you favor over the others?
I'm very fortunate that I get to keep doing different things, which if you're a little bit ADD like I am, it keeps you from getting bored. If I have to choose, I like making up stories, whether I'm writing them or doing them in an improv way, or I just like making up stories. Like I like to write, but like the editing process, like many people, I find very grueling.
Yeah.
But the original making up the story part never ceases to bring me joy.
I totally understand that. I get that same feeling when I'm writing my music. So I
Oh,
totally
yeah. Yeah, so you get it.
yeah.
You guys connect in that way. That's awesome. I like that. So I have a question. So with COVID going on and everything, what else are you currently working on, and what do you have coming up for 2021?
Well, it's interesting. I'm sure you guys are aware of the Steven Soderbergh film that's being filmed in Michigan right now. So I've been working as an extra on that, which is, yeah, it's just, it's background. I like seeing the creative process. So any chance I can be, like, even if I'm just in the background, but I can like watch all these people and how they make things happen. It's so fascinating to me. I'm a huge fan of the creative process. So I will just, again, the nerdy side of me, I'll be an extra on the set just so I can watch and see what's happening. But going back to what Kim said earlier, it kind of reminded me, even when you're an extra, like the scenes I've been in, you may only see my shoulder. You may see more of me. However, every time we film a scene, and we're told this, you have to have a story in your head of who your character is and what you're doing. Even though, again, they may only see your shoulder, but you don't know. So whenever you're walking through a scene, you have to know who you are, where you're going, what you're doing. And so for me, that's kind of fun because I love making up those little stories in my head. Like, oh, I'm late for an appointment. Nobody knows but me, but it's,
I love that. I love how involved you are, yeah.
But it's also like I've seen the people who work as extras on the sets who get work, who keep getting asked to work again, and the ones who don't. And you can tell they're professional, they're on time, they're not high maintenance, and when they go to work, they do what they're told and they're consistent. Because you might be doing 10 or 20 takes of the same thing. And so you have to have that same story in your head and do it the same way every time to make everybody else's job easier. So even if you're starting out somewhere and you're the most minuscule person you think that's contributing to this project, it is important for you to do it professionally and well. And I think that is why I've had longevity in this business, is because I do, I wouldn't say I'm like the most successful person you're ever going to see, but I always work. And I think it's because I go in every time going, okay, I'm professional, I'm not high maintenance. What can I do to make everybody else's job easier?
Would that be like something like an advice you would share to others? Because I feel like that's really important. Yeah,
definitely. I would say I've seen people get kicked off sets. So I'm not sure if I really answered your question. I work on whatever comes up. So I am working on a book of short stories that I'm in the grueling editing process. I did the fun part. I wrote all the stories. Now I just have to make them better. So hopefully that will be finished in 2021.
Okay.
But I will continue filling in on TV, but I also like the idea that if something new and interesting comes up, like I can do it.
Yeah, that's awesome. You kind of do a little bit of everything. I like that. I like that a lot.
I do. And I'm very fortunate that I've been able to. I feel so lucky to have had the opportunities I've had.
Awesome.
Remember me telling you guys just before Stacey was invited in that it's her professionalism that is, and her consistency and her overall practice of her crafts that have gotten her. She's so talented in different aspects of entertainment, and being diversified like that is really challenging. So she's got it all working right now, and she's giving us really good tips. So those were some of the things.
And that's
Stacey
and mom and me. I can't help it. You're both so young.
Yeah, a lot of energy, a lot of positive energy too that you give. And I think that's important during the COVID days. Stacey's been very busy during COVID. Nothing has slowed Stacey down, you guys. Seriously. In fact, trying to book her even, it's like, hey, you know, I'm so busy right now. So we're thankful that you're here with us.
Yeah. Do you guys have any other questions for Stacey?
No.
I want to know a little bit about your podcast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So in fact, I'm going to go record that as soon as we're done because we record on Mondays. So my podcast started a couple of years ago when my good friend and I realized that we were both going through some serious life issues with, we both had teenagers going through mental health issues. We both have had some kind of issues ourselves that we've struggled with. Relationships aren't always perfect. They're always, you know, a work in progress.
Right.
And we both were frustrated because we felt like if more people talked about these things, we would know where the resources are. We would know where to go for help. We wouldn't, like, both of us were going through things and we're good friends and we didn't even talk to each other about it because we were so embarrassed.
Yeah.
And then when we finally did, we were like, wait, why are you embarrassed? Like, so we started this podcast called It's Not Just You, because it's not just you. It's me, it's everybody, and everybody's going through something. So we try to address topics that maybe are a little bit uncomfortable, maybe people don't always want to talk about, and it's not always heavy stuff. Sometimes it's a little more lighthearted, but we try to address things and let people know that you're not alone. There are resources. You may have to dig a little harder for them. And we ask our listeners, if you know of, you know, something that somebody else could use, please share it. So we can all struggle less, basically.
I love that. That is so cool, Stacey. And you're so right. You know, I've had a group of friends that I've been with forever, and even finding the time now, even the time to have those really good conversations become difficult, you know?
Exactly.
So I love that you have a spot and a platform for us ladies to come to, or whoever, they can learn about us, right? So very cool.
What platform is your podcast on?
Well, it comes out live on Empower Radio, which is online, empowerradio.com. But we're available on iTunes, on iHeart, Spotify. Like, you can, anywhere you can find a podcast, you can find us.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, I'm definitely going to look that up and listen. I love listening to podcasts. So.
Oh, great. Thank you. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, definitely. I will. Thank you for joining us today. If we don't have any other questions, Marcel?
Oh, I'm great. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. This was very fun.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. We really appreciate it.
Stacey, we love everything you do. Just keep on doing it. And we'll be in touch with you soon. And everyone, hopefully check out Stacey. You know, Tony's gonna let you know where to hook up with her.
Yeah, at the end of the video, we're gonna have all of her information, any way to contact Stacey, so that you can reach her there. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
thanks again, Stacey.
It was nice talking to you.
Take care. Thank you.